Yeah, like Salman Rushdie's book, you will not in Salman Rushdie's book. There's no way. I don't. So neither will you find it in many Muslim countries. I doubt it. But again, I'm talking about the conventional kind of ideological books. Again, all the way from Marxism to very strong religious books, and every ideology that you can think about. I felt that every book was there. It was very impressive, and I think we did make many comments about who would have thought we'd find such a book in Tehran.
I don't know, these Western magazines.
Oh, yeah. No, okay, no, there is no McDonald's. There is no Kentucky Fried Chicken. And no, you wouldn't find a lot of the Western things that we expect to find, say, in Costa Rica or in many countries in the world now. And because of yeah, here we go, no McDonald's, does it? Okay, number 3.
Well, I was just wondering if you could probably mention something how, even though it's a very frustrated group, the educated middle class, perhaps they're too compromised because they seem to be so well off and they seem to have a lot of resources and their livelihood is pretty good compared to the rest of the population. And they might be not willing to take the sacrifices in order to try to put their input influencing the masses or acknowledging other groups that are in a lower position or to back up, like an ideological revolution or a different institutional approach.
Actually, I felt that the reason this middle class cannot connect with that group here is because of this. Because I think they don't have the rhetoric or the discourse that can connect here. And they know that very well. As a matter of fact, the one thing they felt was good about our visit and about us going with them to Qom, the religious city, was that because they know that if they want to send their message of human rights or conflict resolution or whatever it is, it has to be filtered through the religious discourse into the masses. But if you bring it without the religious discourse, probably it's not going to connect. And I think there is a lot of distrust here between those two. These masses are very influenced by the religious institutions. And by the way, the Shia system among Muslims, is also a whole other story. I mean, I think now when I think of the majority of Muslims who are Sunni versus the minority of Shia, and that's where you have in Iran, this is such a powerful institution, religiously, socially, culturally, politically, and not just powerful like it's imposing. It is really loved by the people. I mean, it's important to realize that. I didn't feel that those guys here come across to the masses as oppressive. Not at all. They feel that they are the legitimate leaders of their community, and history in Iran, vis-a-vis other countries, Egypt and others, has shown that when they needed a hero to stand up to oppression or injustice or foreign intervention, it was this group that stood up for them. History showed that. That's why they have credibility with their own people. The problem here is those guys are insisting on a very Western secular discourse. And while it is very plausible and it fits very well for their needs, I don't think it is fitting very well with the rest of the masses.
I was just wondering if you heard about that movie or comics called Persepolis.
Yeah, I read it too.
Okay, I wanted to know if you just now that you know the country for closer, maybe you can tell me if it's representative or illustrative of what you saw.
Excellent.
Or is it just the point of view of a westernized girl from the educated middle class, as you said, or?
Excellent. As a matter of fact, let me just tell people what that book is. It's a small comic book written by an Iranian female writer. She lives in Paris or the US, I can't remember where, or somewhere in the West. And she left early on after the revolution. And she wrote this comic book, and she won an international award for that book a few months ago. And in that book, she depicts the system as oppressive and that she couldn't live with this as a woman because they forced her to wear this thing and all that stuff. I read it about a year ago or so, and I didn't know what to think of it. I thought something like what you said now. She's just a westernized girl living in the West. She's looking back and trying to make it look negative. But I have to tell you, my visit confirmed the book for this group, because she comes from this group. And I can see, I mean, actually, that's what I heard. I heard verbatim what she was saying in her book from young women from this educated middle-class group in Iran. No, they are not happy at all with the infringement on their personal life and private decision-making. Yet, again, I just want to say that doesn't mean they are oppressed and scared and hiding. Not at all. Walk there and you will know what I'm talking about. Those are powerful, assertive decision makers. They are, but then I guess like Victoria was saying, somehow the culture is saying, put this cover on you. But when this cover is imposed on you, nobody wants it. Nobody can accept this kind of interference with their private life, I think. Yes?
For anybody who is interested to read Persepolis, I have the first series, so you just let me know. No, I just have the...
Okay. Good. So again, just to sum everything, I would say that this trip, I fell in love with that country. I would go back again in a heartbeat, whether to visit or to do research or to teach or something. It is definitely a beautiful country, beautiful people, nice people to connect with and to know and to learn. The culture is so rich. Yet it poses some challenges for us, those who are Muslims, those who are from the Middle East, those who are interested in peace and conflict and human rights. Those are serious matters. I don't know where we're going with this conflict. I'm afraid. I really hope, having seen Iran now, I hope it is not going to be bombed. I really hope, because it is such a beautiful place. And when I see the images of Iraq and other places, I hope I will not see that Tehran or any of those places I have seen was bombed by anybody. It doesn't deserve this, and I hope that there will be a change, reform, like some people said to us. We just want to see reform. Change to some of the ways, things like Ahmadinejad is doing and others, to get some sense into what we do, appreciate the notion of freedom of individuals and political rights, and also at the same time have others understand us and understand how well we are doing. I don't know where we're going to go with this, but as we said, more questions and answers by the end of this trip. Thank you all so much. Thank you.